Okay, should be back. Just check to make sure. No, I don't want to check that. Yeah, I'm gonna rerun it. I'm gonna rerun it just to make sure everything is okay. I don't know what happened. It must have been something when I switched to change the sound. How's the sound now? Is it still okay? Good. Alright.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 190th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
The R142 was the one that was released by Carlos Ortiz. The panel, the detailed panel is there in the released train, but it's not functional. I just added the functionality to it. Same as I did with this train. Although this train, I added the panel also. This is actually the panel from the 2D cockpit. You do that using, putting it into the animated file for the train. There's two ways of doing it. You can create a dedicated 3D cockpit that's defined by the panel.animated file, but that has some quirks to it. Like, for example, when you're going around the curve, your eye movement goes around with the track instead of the train, which to me isn't realistic. So I used the actual 3D external model to put this in. There's two ways of doing that. If you set the train up for the bot, if you have a train that has separate trucks, so you'll see in the extension file that you'll have a truck up the body of the train and another truck. The first truck is considered car 0. The body is 1. So if you set the first car of the train to be car 0, then you'll get a lot of
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 181st Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Do you have a Facebook account? Yannick 286, okay. Alright, I'll see. I put it together and I'll send them to you. G-Train, if you want them also, I can send them to you too, if you give me your Facebook account.
181st Street.
I don't have Twitter, so I'm the opposite.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 176th
Just curious,
Street.
why you want it for March 4th?
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Sure. Oh, okay.
This is 175th Street.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I gotta write that down. I don't want to exit out of this, or else I'll have a performance problem again, it looks like. Okay, let me stop and I'll get a pen and write it down.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express
Okay, give me 1 minute.
The next stop is 168th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we are being held momentarily by the train's dispatcher. Thank you for your patience.
Okay, got it. You can delete the comments with the emails, so email bots don't get it. I have it written down.
68th Street. Transfer is available to the 1 and C trains. This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 145th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What route are you trying? You have to have dependencies for the routes. If you go to bvestation.com, there's a section there for objects. You may need to download those
Ladies and gentlemen,
to be able to run the routes.
Random search on police.
Like for example, this route uses Culver, 8th Avenue, something called Lisa Ray 2 objects, and a couple others. And they don't all come with the routes when you download them. You have to download them separately. Usually, most of them you could find at bvestation.com. Yes. Yeah, well, it'll be on a Google Drive. I'll give you the link for the Google Drive.
This is 145th Street. Transfer is available to the B and D trains. This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 125th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful with your personal belongings. Be aware of pickpockets. Don't carry your wallet in your rear pocket and hold on to your backpack or pocketbook.
Yeah. Some routes come with their own objects, so you have to also install those. And the objects go, you know what folder the objects go in, right? Yeah, it's railway /object. Singular, not with the S, just object.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Okay, now we get to speed up a little bit. One thing I like about the 3D cockpit is because you have peripheral vision, it seems like it seems more realistic, the speed, than with the 2D cockpit. Correct. Well, usually it's in legacy files. It's OpenBVE /legacy. I forgot the name. Legacy something or other. I can't sell off the bat, and then railway, and then object, and then routes will be in the same subdirectory as railway, and sounds also.
Cell phones or other electronic devices. Remain alert and have a safe day.
But remember, it's normally not just under OpenBVE Railway. It's OpenBVE Legacy, whatever. You'll see there should be a folder there. It comes with OpenBVE, and then that's where you put the railway object with the objects, routes, and sounds. I'll send it to you after the stream. I can't exit the stream, or else I may have performance issues like I did before. For some reason, my system doesn't like exiting out of stream once I'm in it. OpenBVE decides it wants to go real slow. My system's not that strong to begin with, so I'm lucky I can get what I can get out of it. I have your email addresses, so don't worry about that. If you want to see the difference between the 3D cockpit with the trucks being the leading car versus the body of the car being the leading car like I have now, I believe I have a stream, not the last one, the time before that, on with the R142. Where you'll see the train swaying back and forth. It looks it looks cool and stuff, but if you look at railfan videos, the trains normally don't sway that much. I think it's a little bit over exaggerated. That's why I went back to using the body for the first car rather than the trucks. You don't get as much swaying motion, but I think it's more realistic.
This is 59th Street, Columbus Circle. Transfer is available to the 1B, C, and
there's also
D
another
train.
problem doing it that with the trucks as the lead car. I haven't sent you the email yet. I'll send you after the stream is over. As I said, I can't exit the stream.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 42nd Street, Port Authority Bus Terminal.
Stand
I only
clear
have
of the
I only have
closing
one
doors,
system.
please.
Oops. Brakes released. I only have one screen, so I can't exit out. Normally I would just do it, but because of the problems I'm having, I can't do that right now. Correct, it's not, but it's slated to go into service after the J and after the J line.
City Police Department. Keep your belongings in sight at all times. Protect yourself.
I think that's the next line that's supposed to get them is the A line,
On the platform or train,
and I think the C is supposed to get some too.
police officer or MTA employee. Remain alert and have a safe day.
Most of the testing for the 179 was done on the A line out in Rockaways.
This is 42nd Street, Port Authority Bus Terminal. Transfer is available to the 1, 2, 3, 7, C, E, N, Q, R, and shuttle to Grand Central Station. Connection is available to the Port Authority Bus Terminal. This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 34th Street, Penn Station.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Well, the MTA isn't really happy with the R179s. They had a lot of problems, and there's delays in production. So hopefully they get them all worked out, and they won't have as many problems. That's the main reason why they left out Bombardier to make the R211.
And gentlemen, for your
They've been
safety,
blacklisted
please do not block or hold the
for that
car doors
project.
while the train is in the station, and please do not lean against the doors.
This is 34th Street, Penn Station. Connection is available to the Long Island Railroad, New Jersey Transit, and Amtrak.
Well, that's actually the numbers for the train I have here. And the real ones, that was the ones that were testing, so I don't know if they're still using them for tests or whether they're going to go into service or not. Eventually they'll probably go into service.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is 14th Street.
A lot of times transit
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
departments, after they test them, they take them and use them for parts, for maintenance, rather than buy parts separately. It usually ends up cheaper for them. I know they're doing that in London, I believe, for the new trains that they've got.
Transfer is available to Bell Train.
I doubt they'll take away the Alstroms.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is West 4th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
I think the next trains to go will be the R42s. Once the 179s all come online, I think the 142s are history. Then they're going to work on the 32s. It's amazing the R32s seem to hold up better than the newer R42s and 44s.
This is West 4th Street. Transfer is available to the VCD.
Now my system doesn't like live stream on Flight Simulator. I don't have a very strong system. It's only a 3 gigahertz C2D system. Whoops. A little early there.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express
Yep.
train. The next stop is...
I used to ride them back in the 70s on the D line.
Stand clear of the closing
Back then
doors,
they ran
please.
32s, 42s, and 44s. And on the CC, they ran R9s and R10s. I used to love riding on the R9s. Very distinctive sound to them. Although, I mean, the older trains, like the standards and thing, also has the sound, and the gate cars. But, never got to ride in them other than on the Nostalgia Express, which used to run, which is the equivalent of the fan trips they have now.
It is a violation to ride or walk between cars except in an emergency
Every summer in the-
or when directed by a police officer or the train crew. For a complete list
Will
of
do,
rules
don't
of
worry
the
about
subway,
it.
visit www.mta.info. Thank you.
Yeah, I got to ride the R110Bs. Never got to ride the A's. The Bs were really nice. It's a shame they never really used any of the technology that they used. The R110As on the R110As on the IRT were the predecessors for the R142, and they're very similar. But the 110Bs were nowhere near what the 143s and 160s became. Maybe the controls, but that's about it. The seating arrangement was totally different.
This is a Brooklyn-bound A express train. The next stop is Chambers Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah, they were only prototypes. They weren't meant for revenue service. They only had them to demonstrate the capabilities of what they were planning on coming up. Yeah, my guess would probably be you'll start seeing in testing by 2021, 2022. They probably won't go into service till 2023. If history shows. They look pretty neat. If you want a prelude of what they would be like, look at the London S-Stock trains. That's pretty much similar to what they're going to be like. Those is a little bit different.
Connection is available to
But it has to pass through gangway. One thing which I found interesting was they were, for the R211s, at least the initial run, they're only going to have about 20 cars that have the pass-through gangways. Everything else will be the regular
Stand clear of
mid-car
the closing
doors.
please.
I guess they want to see if it works first before they invest in it. I guess if it works out, they'll buy more with the option.
Ladies and gentlemen, soliciting money in the subway is illegal. We ask you not to give. Please help us to maintain an orderly subway.
You mean your Avatar? The one with the plane? Yeah, I like that.
This is Fulton Street. Transfer is available to the 2, 3, 4,
Well, I think one of the reasons is the way the cars are set up. Right now, you have 4 R46s, so that would be the equivalent of 5 R160s. Instead
Stand
of
clear of the closing doors, please.
instead of the conductor car being in the center, it would be at the end of the train, which could be a safety thing because you may not be able to see around the curves or something. That's the only thing I could think of why they wouldn't put them there. I mean, I know every once in a while when they extend it. Oh yes, they do, but that would be less capacity than the existing 4-car R46s. Remember, the R46 is 75 feet long. The R160s are only 60 feet. So to make up a 4-car set of R75 R46s, you have to have 5 R160s.
At all times. Protect yourself. If you see a suspicious package or activity on the platform or train, do not keep it to yourself. Tell a police officer or an MTA employee. Remain alert and have a safe day.
Yeah, that's right. They did move to R68s. You're right. But the same difference. It's for they're both 75-foot cars.
Ladies and gentlemen, backpacks and other large containers are subject to random search by the police.
I personally like the R68s. I've always liked the seating arrangements of the R44, 46, and 68s. It does restrict entrance though because you lose a few doors. Like instead of 20 doors, you have 16. You said March 4th, it's only March 2nd.
This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is J Street Metrotech.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
J Street Metrotech. Transfer is available to the C, F, and R train. This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is Point Schermerhorn Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Transfer is available to the C and G trains. This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is Nostrand Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Boulevard, you must transfer from this train to a Lefferts Boulevard bound A train. This is a Rockaway bound A train. The last transfer point for a Lefferts Boulevard bound A train is Rockaway Boulevard.
Still have to do some work on the brake needles. And next time I brake, if you watch the red needle, it'll disappear after a while. So I gotta figure out why that's happening. It works on a 142 for some reason. On this one, it does. It's going in between the dials. I got some interior work to do on this, and once I'm done with that, if that goes all right, then I'll ask Aahd Tahar for permission to release this, and whatever other developer I need to talk to. Ultimately, I want to do what I did with the one for the cab. I want to do what I did with the 142. I want to tie the console here, the operating screen, with the destination signs, so I can change the destination signs right from the cab, just like I do with the 142. That'll be my next thing to do, and then I'll start work on the interior.
This
Hello.
is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is Utica Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah, every once in a while you see rats in the subway. I remember them all the way back in the 70s. They seem to have gotten bigger though. This is a work in progress, so the route you can download, the route you can get on openconnect.com, OpenBVEconnect.com, in the download section. You'll see route numbers. Look for the A, H, and E trains, and you'll see it there. The train is a work in progress, so can't release that yet. And also, it's modification of somebody else's work, so I have to get their permission to release it.
Transfer is available to the C train. This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is Broadway Junction.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Okay, I'll be here, at least until Far Rockaway.
Ladies and gentlemen, please plan ahead. Construction work takes place on weekends and during midday and overnight hours. For service changes, visit nta.info, call 718-330-1234, or look for posters in stations.
Transfer is available to the C, J, L, and Z trains. Connection is available to the Long Island Railroad. This is a Queens-bound A express.
Once we get out on the causeway,
Stop is Euclid
on the way out to Far Rockaway,
Stand clear of the closing
I'll do some
doors,
external
please.
views. Okay. Have a good day.
This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is Grant Avenue.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Okay. Grand Avenue, then we get out in the open.
This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is 80th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is 88th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Once we get past Howard Beach, I'll do some external views.
This is a Queens-bound A express train. The next stop is Rockaway Boulevard.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
I don't know why it says A express train at this point, because it's local from here on out.
Lefferts Boulevard, you must transfer from this train to a Lefferts Boulevard bound A train. This is a Rockaway bound A train. The last transfer point for a Lefferts Boulevard bound A train is Rockaway Boulevard.
This is a Rockaway Boulevard. This is a Far Rockaway bound A train. The next stop is Aahd.
This signal always confuses me. I don't know why it signals a divergence when you're actually going straight ahead,
Closing doors, please.
whereas the Lefferts shows that you're going straight ahead, and that's actually the divergence. It's one of the few in New York City subway system that does that. it has a much sharper divergence in OpenBVE than it is in real life. The speed is usually higher than a normal switch here.
This is an Aahd. This is a far Rockaway bound A train. The next stop is Howard Beach JFK Airport.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
This is Howard Beach JFK Airport.
There should be a transfer announcement for the air train here, but that's missing for some reason. See if I can put it in at some point.
This is a far Rockaway bound A train. The next stop is Broad Channel.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yeah, let's take a look outside. This may take a couple of seconds for it to catch up. There we go. This is what the outside of this train looks like. There's the route sign. Rockaway. 8th Avenue Express. Keep the doors open for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are being held momentarily by the train's dispatcher. Thank you for your patience.
All the way to 3019. It's full car. This is where I got the most work to do. I want to make the windows 3D on this. Got some work on the signs. I want to tie all these signs together that you can set them from the operating screen in the cab. Departure. How you doing? Hello. The one thing with doing the 3D cab this way, which is in the external model itself, is you don't have a regular external model. If I do that, I have to move it outside the cab. You can create a dedicated 3D panel using panel.animated file, but that has a couple of quirks in it. When you go around the curve, your viewpoint moves with the curve instead of the train, so you could be looking on the side of the train when the train's turning, which I don't particularly care for. So I built it right inside the external model. not on this one, but on the R142 that I just did last night, there's already a detailed panel in the model itself. I just added the functionality to it. Same. This one, I just used the textures from the 2D model and incorporated that into the external model, and then added the functionality. Within the train's, the first car's animated file. See, on this model, it's rather, the cab is rather small, so sort of like operating inside the train, inside the train. But it works. Yes, I do. Now, I don't know why I'm stuck here. Probably for scenery loading. It should come back. There we go. It's loading scenery. My system's not that strong, so and I only have a 1 gigabyte video card, so it takes a little while for the scenery to load every once in a while, especially an area that's detailed as this.
This is Broad Channel. This is a far Rockaway bound A train. The next stop is Beach 67th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yes, basically go to OpenBVE _dash project.com, and there's a wiki page for documentation on how to develop routes, trains, and objects. And that'll give you an idea of how to position them. You position, basically there's two ways of positioning. You could position within the object themselves, or in the animated files that make up the train. For the most part, if I'm adding something to the train, I do it through the animated file. It's much easier. And you're not changing anybody else's files. It's all a matter of coordinates. The coordinates are width, height, and length, or X, Y, and Z. If I'm not mistaken, positive numbers are towards the left, towards the right, and negative If you move to negative numbers, it's towards the right of the train. And height is positive is up and negative is down. And lengthwise, positive is forward and negative is back.
This is Beach 67th Street. This is a far Rockaway bound A train. The next stop is Beach 60th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
That's actually the CBTC screen normally seen on the R143s. The reason is the R179 doesn't have a dedicated speedometer, so they're on the displays. So I just use that to put the speedometer. Hello.
This is Beach 60th.
Yeah, I made an R160 out of this too. It's the only difference visually from an R160 is the numbers, the cab, and the R160 has a black rim on top. The R179 has a silver rim. Visually, otherwise, they're pretty much identical.
This is a far Rockaway bound A train. The next stop is Beach 44th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Well, I have it set up to use the CBTC screen with the speedometer in the center, if you notice the screen. Normally on an R160 is an LED right above where the brake gauge is, but the R179s don't have that. So you have to show the speed somewhere. So since I don't know what an R179 screen looks like, I haven't seen any on the internet, I use the CBTC screen. It's funny, the CBTC screen on this, if you notice, it says CTBC. These are the screens that Fanrail, when he released the JTT 179, was using. So I used the same screens.
Beach Beach 44th Street.
What do you mean R160 screen? Are you talking about the blue screen, right? That's the CBTC screen. That's where you have the speedometer and you have whether CBTC is active or not. You usually see those on the R143s.
Beach 36th Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
But R179 is going to have CBTC capability too, so I assume they have the same screen capability. It may be a little bit different, but that's what we have right now. Well, on the right screen, I believe you have the operations screen, and that's where you would see the route. If you see the destination, that's where you would see the route indicator, and then previous stop, next stop. If this was a real train, you can't do that in OpenBVE though. I have a feeling. I'm wondering the top bar, which is an indication of the number of cars you have, similar to what the M8 is on the in-train simulator. If you notice on the M8 on the screen, there's a symbolization for how many cars you have. I believe that's the same thing, and I have a feeling that those have some sort of light to them that whoops, what, not paying attention.
This is a Far Rockaway bound A train. The next stop is
I have a feeling that
25th Street.
those are actually used to indicate whether the brakes are active in the cars. But I've never seen one in real operation, so I don't know for sure. If somebody knows, I'd be very interested to find out. Because if it is, I can code something in for when the brakes are on. Or it may indicate that the doors are closed or open for each car. I did code in the door light on the left-hand side. Hello. You see the lights on right now. They'll go up when the door's open. It basically has the same functionality as the 2D panel.
This is Beach 25th Street.
The 142 has a little more functionality. It has an animated throttle, as you can see in the stream I just did last night, and
this is a Far Rockaway bound A train. The next and last stop is Far Rockaway.
I don't know, I was like, the first time the R179s were in service and people were taking pictures, not one took a picture of the cab. I still haven't seen a good picture. Fan railer came close. He like skimmed right through it. So if you got it right at the moment, you got a quick view of part of the cab. But he didn't even stop to look at it. So, but I did see at least one picture of it, and it does have the analog brake gauge, which the R160s don't. It looks similar to the ones that Fan Railer made, which is what this is. This is the panel itself is the panel from the R179 JTT train, which Fan Railer released. Still have a lot of work to do. I was just showing the interior has a lot of work to do. I want to do work on the signs, tying all the signs together, like I did with the R142. If you look at the R142 from the stream yesterday, you'll see all the signs are tied together to the operating screen, so you don't even have to leave the cab to set all the signs. That's pretty much what I want to do here. And then I have a lot of work to do on the interior of the train. Externally, I think it's pretty much done. I have some little work on the trucks. I'll show you the trucks I use. I made the third rail myself, based on pictures that I've seen of the R179.
This is the last stop on this train. Everyone, please leave the train. Thank you for riding with MTA New
Yeah, I'll show you.
Transit.
I need to. There's like a round. I thought it was a suspension, but I think it's something else. This a round cylinder type object that goes above the. Whoops! Ah! Didn't want to do that. Hold on, gotta reposition myself. Sorry about that. There's a round like cylinder type object. At first I thought it was a spring, but from other pictures it looks like it's something else, like some sort of transistor coil or something that goes on top of the red third rail shoes. And there's another like a cover or something, red cover that I want to put on. But that pretty much looks just like what I took that right from photograph from an R179 truck. So I think I got that pretty accurate. But yeah, if you want, I'll give you another tour of the train. Okay. See, internally, there's still some work to do. I want to make the... This mouse is very sensitive when it comes to the viewpoints. I want to make the Windows 3D, which I think I know how to do. And I like to animate these doors like I've seen other trains do. I may take a shot at that at some point. Like the R142, like they did with the R42. And these are the signs I want to tie together. The find system screens, that's going to be a little difficult to do. I think on the first car, there's one. Oh, there's one. First car has the find system. That's going to be a little difficult to do. I think I can get it to mimic to make it look like thing and just change the route destination. But to get the actual stations, that's going to be a little tricky since and then externally I want to fill these gaps in. Right now it's the outside skin and the inside skin and the gap that creates the 3D image. I want to put a cowling around it so so the inside image isn't visible. And that's the rear of the train. There's one other thing I wanted to do with the front. I've done a little bit already, but if you notice, there's like a little red tint when the photo that I took to make the face came from a picture that had the taillights on, so it had the glow of the red tint in it. I've got as much out as I could right now without. It's hard to do with and keep it blended, so it looks right. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. And this is the route signs. You control them right now with the 9 key. And now. Run through it. That's B train. Let's skim through it fast. D, E. I have it 5 times. That's why it's going so fast, just to go through them all. I also have some of the fictional route. I have signs for some of the fictional routes that we have. So it's not just the NYCT routes. This way it could be used on any OpenBVE route that we have. Which version of OpenBVE do you have? The 1.5 versions are slower than the old 1.43. But you lose some of the benefits of it, some of the views. See, on my system, I have to use the 1.43 because the 1.5 doesn't recognize my joystick throttle, which is what I use to control the train here. Oh, let's stop the signs. So, all right. Any questions before I go? Okay, if not, everybody have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.